Hello, beauty. I am excited to share a message from Gaia today. We are working toward a new direction right now on Gaia's green earth. And what we want in life is to experience the new earth and appreciate the way it is nesting into all the things that are coming forward right now. So it's not like it comes in one wave and we all expand and all things come together. We hear each our own path forward uniquely to each of us. And when we adapt to the new direction that is coming into the planet, we will find ourselves acclimated to peace, abundance, joy, serenity, growth from they want to say a beauty place versus a struggle place, an understanding of who we are versus a confusion. So what we do is we adapt to this technology that is kind of moving out the old stereotypes of who we are and what the world is and what we think of the world and how we engage with the world and what we want from each other. So knowing that you are fully functioning grown person when we don't always feel that way, I want to say adult because adult isn't what we are. We are all ages in one meat suit, so to speak. But I laugh about calling it a meat suit because I feel so much like this is such a big I always say the body is God, actually. So calling it a meat suit is really demeaning of what it actually is. Body is God. Body is source. Body is intelligence and knowing and power. That is the body. So I go down that path and I step back because I like to joke, but absolutely it's not how I feel about things. I want to honor and respect this not as a vessel for my consciousness, but as part of my consciousness, because it absolutely is embedded in my consciousness to have a body. Isn't that interesting? We often think of ourselves as just energy in a body, and Goddess shares that we are God-bodied, God-spirited, God-minded, God-directed, God-held. Use whatever term is better for you if you prefer source or goddess. The reason I say masculine term is because I'm claiming it for all genders. In fact, I often spell God with an X in the middle to identify all energies as present within goddess too. I like to say goddess is God. In this time, especially, I feel like it is a needed frequency, so to speak, or a needed energy to say that is also the same thing in some way without disrespecting any gender in the spectrum here, or in the rainbow of gender. So I am fluid gender myself to some extent. I tend to lean toward she, her pronouns in my life. So that's just my place in things, while also respecting and appreciating the kind of rainbow of gender that lives within my consciousness. So that's just where I stand. And I always try to embody the knowing that all things are present on the earth to be explored and understood. And I, as Sasa, do want all people to feel recognized and witnessed as the person that they are at the core level of themselves, however that looks. So we talk about spirit. This is a little bit of a conversation about spirit and what gender identification goes with spirit. I think that spirit is genderless in a lot of ways. So there's that. We also enjoy a presence that is very, can be very different at different times. And so we often identify with, it's like common for people to identify with a patriarchal sense of spirit, and we don't need to go there all the time. We get to experience, it's funny, words that are coming through are like matriarchal, matrilineal, but allowing energy that has like a very focused way of allowing. So it's not like, oh, feminine, the goddess, has a passive, directionless sort of thing because she's letting it in. We don't want to identify that as the goddess or as the feminine at all. We are meant to understand the spectrum of ourselves and the spectrum of the directive force that is spirit in whatever way. Well, I wanted to say in whatever way speaks to us, and there's more to that than what speaks to us. There's a lot more than we can recognize. So I would suggest an open heart and an open mind, specifically when talking about what spirit represents and how it genders and how it is kind of where it focuses in different ways. And that can come forward as understanding there are other energies present, and we sometimes talk to other deities and beings that represent different spectrums of light information. Angels, fairies, all kinds of beings that are on the planet that we are acknowledging and saying, hey, you bring in light information that is necessary for the expression of the true nature of our universe to exist. And the nature of Gaia is kind of has a goddess aspect that is predominant, and also a God aspect that is very directed, container-based. These are all things that we tend to associate with the masculine, and I don't want to gender these traits. It's hard to talk about these spiritual concepts without going there a little bit. And I respect a rainbow of all expression that is necessary for us to grow and exist together. So what I am hoping that this dialogue, or this, not dialogue, but this claiming, so to speak, will open up is a mindset shift for people who may struggle with gender associations along any line, be it on the physical plane, the spiritual plane, and open hearts to the possibility that everyone gets to be seen and loved and held as their whole self, and you don't get to say what that is or who that is. And this is meant to be a little bit, it's like we're trying to be proactive to allow this to shift versus kind of going down and thinking less about it and hoping the frustration heals itself with this difficulty that people face in life right now and many cultures. And in the United States, it is especially, I don't want to talk about this from a place of us saying, oh, we need to be getting I don't want everyone to give up on this right now. I guess that's it. And yes, we don't want to virtue signal either and just say something to say something or to be seen saying something. And you know what, however you go about it is good, because we, as a people who understand love is the force behind all things, have a need to stand in alignment with those who need love. And we respect diversity, and we respect and appreciate the power of individuality and uniqueness on this planet. And I want to lay claim to this now in my work and hope that it creates some kind of conversation, that it allows people to shift their mind and heart and their being into a field of possibility where they get to be their true self too. Ultimately, that's what we're here to do. Be our true self. So here's what I ask. If you feel confused, do not stress. It is all going to make sense given time and space. Conversation, dialogue versus assumption. You know, I'm not saying it's a responsibility of someone who has a different gender, they are the gender they are, and someone assigned something different to them at birth. I don't want to suggest it's your job to educate someone, because you should be free to not have to do that. And dialogue is very essential. If you don't know, ask. It's kind of simple. If you don't know what someone wants, ask them what they want. Everyone has a different feeling about that, but I don't understand what everyone wants automatically. And it's my job to be inquisitive and curious and open to what they desire. And that's my stance. And I hope it helps to give you some fodder for thought to move into a new awareness that all people deserve respect for who they really are, not who you think they are. That is the key here. And this comes back to goddess worship, because goddess is trying to hold a container for all those souls who need to not have to have specific identification to be themselves. Rules and regulations about who we are is definitely not calling forth the true self that we are becoming. So putting a rule on someone for who they should be doesn't allow the earth to shift. And we want heaven on earth, and that doesn't come by making hell for someone else. I'm sorry, that's exactly what you do when you don't love someone enough to let them be whole and understand their own relationship with unity and their own relationship with themselves. And that is what we are moving away from. We're not here to dissolve the self for some idea of what God or goddess or source happens to be. We're here to own what is us. So let's own ourselves first. Be your own advocate, but without harming someone else in the process. This is laying claim to the true essence of who Gaia is holding us to become. And we are each accountable for love. That is our accountability, is to love with truth in focus. Not man-made truth, so to speak, or person-made truth, it would be better to say. But understanding wholeness, and what is holy, right, is love and understanding and acceptance. Because we all belong here. You do not belong more than another person belongs. Everyone belongs here. That is Gaia's promise. So don't make it hard for someone else to be here, please. Give them grace. Give them your listening ear instead of admonitions, am I saying the right word? Admonishments about who they should become for you to be okay with everyone. That's not working anymore. We are not here to do that. We are here to be in unity toward the purpose of being on a whole planet, a place of love and purpose. And you cannot take away someone's fire for life by directing them toward what you think is right. Would you like your fire taken from you? I imagine the answer is absolutely not. And I might be preaching to the choir here, so to speak. Here's what I say. I love you. Keep going. Own you fully. Love to you. This is your home. And I want you here. I love you being here. And take care of yourself right now. Or always. We have many shapes of people on this planet. All deserve love. And that is what Gaia shares today. Much love to you. Hold down the fort. And you are loved beyond all reckoning. Yes, you. Sow seeds of love for everyone, okay? All right. Many blessings. And I look forward to sharing another message with you next time.